Firstly, I think both the films, Last Days of Summer and Aravali, The Lost Mountains, they both are personal in a way. So, how did the idea come about? If you could first start with that.
First of all, I want to thank you everyone for coming and watching the films. So, Aravali ranges are the oldest ranges, the mountain ranges which we have in India. It starts from Gujarat and it's end in Haryana, and it also passes through my native village in Udaipur district. And like I am born and brought up in Mumbai, but whenever I used to visit my village, and every day every time I visit and every time I see the changes in the place, and every time I see the landscape has been changed, the mountains are getting vanished, and I never focused on that thing. But in COVID time, I realized got an opportunity to stay there for quite long time, and I thought of making it into a feature film. And but I have no idea through how I should tell all these stories, and I started interviewing and meeting people, and by curiosity that what other things are happening and why. And it was an experimental documentary, and it gave me a very other prospect of the side that no one is talking against this and everyone is supporting. And I was like, why this mining is happening? When I am talking, no one is like against the mining. So like I was like more curious why, and my always why gave me a new perspective, and I made this documentary.
First of all, thank you, Village Square, for getting me all the way to Delhi from Ladakh. I'm glad for that. It's always special when you get to talk about your film. That's very important. That's the purpose of making films. Okay. So this tribe that you saw in my movie Last Days of Summer, they are from the eastern part of Ladakh. They are on the Ladakh itself is on a very high altitude above 11,000, 12,000 above sea level. So there, this tribe particularly, they live 16,000 feet above sea level. These are pure nomads. It's like no semi-nomad is like there are semi-nomads, a lot of semi-nomads in Ladakh, but there's pure nomads who do not depend on farming at all because there's no way of farming. It's only the herds that you see, yaks, sheep, and goats. So it is personal to me because I am a descendant of this nomad. My parents were born there, but then at a very young age they migrated towards Leh, which is town area. My grandparents spent their entire life there. I have not lived that life, but I've been going there, visiting there since my childhood days. So I have a very personal touch, and the way of life, the smell of the air out there, the mountain, the cold, and everything. It is imprinted. I feel on my DNA. So it's very personal, and it is original in a way. That's not someone coming from outside and telling our story. It is me telling story about us. So that's why I can be confident while sit here and speak to you that it's a personal that way.
Both the films, of course, focus on not the cities, of course. One is about the nomadic tribe, it's about a village. But interestingly, while one film, the people are aware of the mining and they are for in favor for mining because of the livelihood. The other one is also unaware, but they're ignorant. They're talking about ghosts. They're not really understanding what is happening. So, what is the solution? If I have to, let's just get to that point. We know we need development. There is obviously a need for that. But is there a middle path that one can adapt? And also to use Stenzin, that how to create that awareness amongst, especially amongst tribes. I mean, the education, the awareness, the accessibility is much less.
Yes, this is very much true that people are aware, but the problem is the climate change and environmental effects are not immediate, but the money or monetary things we need immediate day to day. So people preference are more of money at that time because agriculture is no more there, because of the water is polluted and there is no such rain. But the solution is like, again, we need like the place need government support, NGO support, and also the contribution from the people itself. So like the intention is not there to save, what I felt, again, because there is no immediate effect of climate change is happening over there, like not such as, because water has been coming from the tankers and other sources. The mining people do have the policy of giving waters to the village, because they have a contract between, when they have to start mining, they have to sign a contract with the government that this much water will be providing to the village. So there is no such as water crisis which we like see, but the solution is, what I feel, is intention. That's it, from every side of, like, from the government, from the people.
Uh, it seems to me that as a filmmaker, as a storyteller, as a medium, my contribution to my society, the best I can do is bring the issue forward to the world. This film is here today in Delhi. Just a year ago, it was all over. So that's more important. That there is, in the very remote corner of this great country, we have this nomads, and this nomadic way of life is vanishing very quickly. And the climate change is one of the major reason. The second reason, unfortunately, is modern education. Education, I mean, people you see in the movie, this older generation, they talk all who will go to the government and raise our application, who will do the talking for us, because all the youth, they have left for education, in search of education, basically in search of jobs. So before this, I had made a movie called School or Sikul. Okay, now this film is about education. A nomadic child is going to school, that's it. The moment, like me, i've I have studied all over India. Now I cannot be a nomad. I cannot be a shepherd because I don't have that kind of experience, and my modern education does not allow me to. That's what I feel. This is my personal opinion. So, education needs to change, not the people, not the farmers, not the shepherds, not them. Education needs to change the way it is propagated throughout the country, probably throughout the world, right? So that is the solution. If I feel today, I work, my next film is a feature film, it's on education. It's about government schools, how it plays a great role in our lives. The government schools, not everybody can afford to go to city, and really don't think people should go to city to study. They should study in their own villages, town, at least, do your entire primary, then probably for your higher education. What I feel as a solution is like what Jigar is saying. The government should collaborate, should listen to do not act smart. Government should not act smart, then think that the government has, or some professors or some scientists from outside has solution for everything and everybody. That is impossible. I think the local community and the government should collaborate and look for solution together. Today, I'll tell you one example which is happening in Ladakh. These nomads, the government thinks that the nomads, they have this tent. Okay, now these are nomads. That means in a year, my tribe, this is Karnak. The village is called Karnak. If you visit Ladakh, go there. It's a beautiful place, huge plains and mountains, amazing. And Karnak, what you have is they move 7 times a year, according to where the grass is grows, and where you can feed those hundreds of yak, sheep, and goats. Okay, they have to move. So now the government thinks it's a very difficult task for them to move around, and that carrying that whole tent, which is made of yak hair, is really heavy. So they give them some house, sort of, which is very ugly looking. They think that is the solution. I don't think that way. They should consult the villagers first, then they should have done. It should be both ways, because now we used to have around 70 families living in that nomadic area land. Today we just have 8 families. So this is migration. So now 70 families, not 500 years ago, 70 families in 1992. And it is 2024 today, and we just have 7 families. When I was shooting this movie back in 2021, there were 13 families. So imagine and when I ask these elder people, the youngers are not coming back. Elderlies, they are not able to manage that kind of harsh condition of life without the help of the younger generation.
So,
So
so you're saying that the government is providing to the nomads uh, houses which are like obviously in one space and they keep moving. That's the nature of the tribe.
exactly.
So that's complete. I mean, it's blinding, blind. There's no foresight from the government's part.
Yes, because there's no discussion with the locals. The collaboration should happen in both ways. And the government can play a big role because it has huge resources. Not the local community, they don't have. Local community, what they have is their wisdom, and the government has the resources. So if they collaborate, there can be a solution. People are very positive. They say it won't be like 100% gone. That won't happen. They, the people are very optimistic about things. But we really need government support at this point of time in collaboration with the locals, and we can have some solution.
Um, Here, a lot of the young audiences here, as filmmakers who have made films on climate change, what do you think? I mean, again, we are all aware there is a growing need to address climate change. There is a ecological balance that is to be maintained. We don't know how to do it. What do you think? How can the youth help as agents of change?
First of all, I believe that more and more documentary or any kind of film should be made on the subject of environment and climate change. I see there is no particular genre in India where we are focused on climate change, what we see in Western country. Yes, there is no scope of commercial wise, if I say, space for the documentary films and especially the climate change documentaries in India. What I see, so I just feel that more and more in a very indie space, more young filmmaker can come and make small documentaries in their own space.
I'm a fiction filmmaker. I've never made a documentary, but though I think both ways it is fiction or documentary, both are really effective. I try to make films in more dramatic manner. That's what I try at least. Even in this film, there's some sound. People keep running around, like you know, so that I can catch first purpose for me before I come to the my point. The point of the film is that I grab people's attention. Now, by I don't just want to reach out to some film intellectuals or something. I want to reach out. Really feel my film should reach out to every single person who wants to watch a movie. Simple, and he or she should be able to understand the film. If you don't sit and watch the film, you won't get the point. And just to make someone sit and watch your film, I really feel it has to have that entertainment factor in it. Some interesting part, I don't know. How do you do it? You put in a music, you do, I don't know. Either it's some way of thriller, some suspense, or something should be there. That's what my. So even for this, it's a small film. Short film makes no money. I made almost no money. At least in our country, there's no platform for short film. But I don't complain. My job is to make a movie because I have a dream to make a film. It is my passion, and I want to make a film which I can watch, which I would really enjoy watching. And for that, if I need to look for money and do some stuff to get things done, I will do my best, but I will not compromise with the kind of film I put forward for my audience to watch.
That's actually a very fantastic thing to say because I wanted to ask both of you, indies and documentary filmmakers, it's tough, right, for documentary filmmakers and independent filmmakers to make cinema and to share it to a wider audience in India. Do you feel sad?
Uh, yes, people talk a lot about that you make films and there is always a OTT platform, but it's not that easy. There is like writing a script is a big task, and then shooting, that is other task. But the biggest task comes when you have to bring out the film. It takes lot of money to shoot also and to bring that production quality, camera wise, sound wise, and everywhere. And once you bring all this, and then at the end they ask who are the stars, and you don't have stars, you have stories. So it's a challenging right now. What I feel is that I don't know what's the solution for this, but yes, I guess you all are the solutions. You guys should watch more indie films and do support indie cinema more, and then OTT might get involved in indie films. Thank you.
When I make a movie, short films, I know I'm not going to earn anything. I'm doing it because I love making film, and these are practices for me to make go to this next feature film kind of. Okay, so next short film. I have acquired funds due to thanks to my two short films that have traveled all over the world. I have found producer. Even for this film, I had a co-producer from France, from Paris. So next film also there are one two producer who are interested, and I'm sure I can get funds. And of course, whatever the producer puts in the money, I'm I have it's my moral duty. I feel they should get that money back at least, if not profit. Okay. And today's world OTT, I'm not limited to India. I'm not even thinking about India at this stage, because I don't think my audience from my own country will be interested that much to watch this kind of film. So I'm looking more towards the West. I really hope that everybody will watch, because like Bong Joon-ho was saying during his Oscar speech or something, you have to overcome that 1 or 2 inch of subtitle thing, and the world opens up to you. Today I know a lot of things about how Italy used to be post Second World War, how Iran is and used to be in today's world. All this through cinema only. Not that I've been to Iran, I've been to Italy, but like that way. There's so many things to see, even within our own countries. I'll make film that is understandable to anybody and everybody, that is relatable most probably to anybody and everybody, and to watch for the audience. So I won't compromise. I'll make, even if it takes money, I'll put money, but we'll make. We'll make good
I think
films.
that's a beautiful way of saying that art is above everything else. The floor is open for questions if audiences have anything to ask the directors here.
I'm going to ask you something which is, I think, the most difficult part while making a film. How do you get funding from your films? Or who funds them? And how do you go about collecting money?
It's the most difficult question, I guess. Every film have different challenges, like fund-wise I'm talking, because every film have a different scale.
There are lots of young filmmakers here, so for
Yes,
them,
every film have a different scale. Like it's all starts from the script. So I write my own script. So basically, while writing only, I make script in a such a way that if I don't get producer, I will make somehow. So from writing stage, I get into production. Said I don't write that thing which will cost me. So yes, when I write, then it. So like yes, after completing script, at least you need some money to make films. There is no zero budget films such as we see in like media. Zero budget films. You need money for food, accommodation, travel. So yes, I have friends and who supports me in not monetary way, but while helping me, like some of the cameramen who comes with no fees, but yes, I have to pay for the camera rental. Sound designer comes, but I have to pay for the studio. So I work in such a way that I put my money, but I don't give money to service which my friends provide me, but I give a share, but that share never comes back, to be very honest. So even they know, but they are just kind of in a supportive way that he's a young filmmaker or he's a filmmaker who want to make something. So one day he will make a big film and then they might give more work. Yes, it's a practical world. Everyone like support in some or other way. So some support for the friendship, some support for the future perspective, some support for the festival films that they will get names. So that's it. So for indie films, there is no such as a production who gives you money. So you have to like jugad and make. Yes.
My question is to you. You said that you make your films keeping an audience in mind, and you want to give the audience something that can draw them to the film. So, when you write the script, do you actually sort of think about that, or do you come to that only when you're actually shooting the film? And you're on location and sort of figuring out how to go forward.
For me, the core is the message I want to deliver. So there will be one single line. Let's say my next film, I see the government schools are going empty. It's shutting down in all the smaller, all the villages. So that is the core. Now I want to make a movie on that issue. I want to highlight that. Now get there, I put all, yes, I make sure it is watchable, entertaining. I mean, not watchable, entertaining at the same time. Then I put all the dramas. Like this one is for climate change because my own people, my own village or my own ancestral village is getting, you know, empty. People are migrating, and it's a huge concern for me. And climate change is one of the primary reasons. That's why I choose this. Someone hears some sound, but nobody can see anything. I think it's, in a way, it's dramatic a bit, little entertaining. It keeps you, glued to, you want to know what he or she is seeing. But that part, yes, I make sure that I really think that anybody and everybody will be able to understand. At the same time, not compromising with the message that I really want to deliver through my cinema.
सो मेरा एक क्वेश्चन आप लोगों से है, एज अ इन्वेस्टर या प्रोड्यूसर आप जिसको कहते हैं, क्या शॉर्ट फिल्म्स और डॉक्यूमेंट्री में कोई एग्जिस्टिंग बिजनेस मॉडल है जिसमें आप किसी इन्वेस्टर को बुला सकें और उससे इन्वेस्ट कर सकें, या आर यू गाइज रेडी टू टेक अ नॉन गारंटी कोलेक्टरल लोन्स विच यू हैव टू रिफंड बैक अगर आप कोई मूवी बनाना चाहते हैं और आप कॉन्फिडेंट हैं? क्योंकि इस तरह का अगर कोई बिजनेस मॉडल है तो देर आर मैनी स्मॉल टाइम इन्वेस्टर्स विल लाइक टू सपोर्ट दिस फ्रेटर्निटी, बट उनको पैसा वापस चाहिए होता है. सो ये एक बहुत बड़ा सवाल है मेरी तरफ से एज अ इन्वेस्टर माई सेल्फ.
सर, शॉर्ट फिल्म, फिक्शन शॉर्ट फिल्म में आप 1 रुपया दोगे आपको कुछ नहीं मिलेगा. कुछ भी दोगे आपको, मुझे नहीं लगता कुछ भी मिलेगा. लेकिन अभी जैसे इतना मैंने देखा है कि अगर बाहर, हमारे देश के बाहर कहीं यूरोप में होता है, तो जैसे मेरा ये मूवी लास्ट समर, ये OTT में जर्मनी में बिक गया है, तो कुछ अवार्ड्स जीतते हैं, तो यूरोस 2000, 3000, 5000 ऐसे ऐसे करके यूरोस मिल जाते हैं. तो ऐसे ऐसे छोटे छोटे इकट्ठा करते हैं. अगर एक बड़ा फिल्म फेस्टिवल में खुल जाता है, लेट्स से फॉर्चुनेटली फॉर अस इट ओपन एट रॉटरडैम, तो उसके वेट की वजह से बाकी फेस्टिवल्स ने इंटरेस्ट दिखाना शुरू किया हमें, हमारे फिल्म पे. तो ऐसे डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स भी इंटरेस्ट दिखाना. लेकिन दिस इज़ ऑल लिमिटेड टू यूरोप के अंदर ही या अमेरिका तक, वहाँ तक. लेकिन जब इंडिया में पूछेंगे तो मैं शायद से यहाँ पे आज इसीलिए आप लोगों ने बुलाया, क्योंकि ये फिल्म क्रिटिक गिल्ड में बेस्ट सिनेमेटोग्राफी जीता था, इसीलिए मैं यहाँ हूँ. तो दैट वे ऐसा कुछ है. लेकिन स्टिल मॉनिटरी यूरोप में थोड़ा मिल सकता, लेकिन उसके लिए फिर मुश्किल भी तो होता है. आप रॉटरडैम में या कैन या बर्लिन, इनमें पहुंचना इतना आसान भी नहीं होता. कोई फिल्म मेकर गारंटी नहीं दे सकता मेरा ये मूवी वहाँ जाएगा. तो स्पेशली शॉर्ट फिल्म्स में वैसे भी. और मैं खुद लद्दाख में नहीं, मेरे पास मूवी थिएटर है लद्दाख में. अब मतलब ऐसा PVR वगैरह नहीं है, मैं इन्फ्लेटेबल सिनेमा, क्योंकि लद्दाख में थिएटर नहीं था, मुझे मूवी बनाना है, दिखाने का जगह नहीं है. मैंने दिल्ली का एक कंपनी देखा पिक्चर टाइम करके, उसके पास एक इन्फ्लेटेबल थिएटर होता है. वो धर्मशाला फिल्म फेस्टिवल में मैं काम करता हूँ फेस्टिवल के साथ. देर मैंने उसको देखा तो मुझे लगा ये प्रैक्टिकल है, इसके लिए ज़्यादा पैसा भी नहीं लगेगा. CEO से मिला, वो अच्छा बंदा, अच्छा इंसान है, उनसे अच्छा, सुशील चौधरी बहुत अच्छा इंसान, उनसे बात किया, दोस्त है, तो उनको ही लाइक द आइडिया. एंड हमने लद्दाख में मूवी थिएटर लगा दिया मैंने. अभी अब मेरा दूसरा तीसरा साल चल रहा है. प्रॉफिटेबल नहीं है, लेकिन एटलीस्ट कल को मैं फीचर फिल्म बनाऊंगा तो मेरे पास 140 सीट है, 5.1 सराउंड साउंड के साथ, एक 4K प्रोजेक्टर के साथ मैं मूवी दिखा सकता हूँ. तो मैंने अपने लिए प्लेटफॉर्म भी बना दिया, अब मुझे सिर्फ मूवी बनाना है.